So apparently there's like 15 scary levels that'll give you nightmare for days. Well, personally, games as of recent, that is, they don't scare me that much anymore. Like there's a few exceptions. There's a few exceptions, ambience and stuff like that gets to me. But same as films, like especially worse with films, I cannot find a film to scare me properly. Like there's been like one in the last few, like 6 months, a year. Like I need something. To make me feel something. You know what I'm saying? So the 15 scary levels that'll give you nightmares for days. Let's check it out. Let's see if I played any of these and do I agree.
We all love a good horror level. There's just something
I
special
like good horror
about
games, not just
fictional
levels.
place that just unsettles you to the bone and gets your heart pumping in anticipation of the unknown. The best horror levels not only use the mechanical fear of a strong enemy to instill a sense of dread into the player,
good one here, Resident Evil 7.
Also have strong thematic elements that make the sequence unforgettable. Many of the recently released horror games have such levels, and we'll be running down 15 of the best in this category.
Yeah, Last of Us 2 got some good ones too.
Resident Evil Village, House Benevento.
Yeah. House Benevento is
Resident
fucking
Evil
crazy.
Village, in many ways, is a celebration of the franchise's rich history.
First time I played this, you can find it on my channel.
Different flavors of horror,
Awesome
ranging from survival to action and much more, into a cohesive experience. But the House Benevento level is undoubtedly one of the most horrifying levels in the game, thanks to its excellent
Straight back to PC, PT, bro. My bad, PC.
Embodiment of one's worst nightmares.
Throw back to PT with that one.
Does an amazing job of teasing the threat with the cries of a baby, and when that one hell of a baby emerges from the dark, you better run with all your might.
Yeah, that shit was terrifying.
Detroit Become Human, Android Junkyard.
I have not played this game. I used to play the demo, but I never got to the game. So spoilers for me.
There's a place where we can be free. Find Jericho.
Chris Jericho?
As the name gives it away, this level in Detroit Become Human takes place in a literal junkyard that's filled to the brim with all sorts of androids. With most of your limbs having been amputated, you can crawl your way through piles of spare parts and find compatible limbs to get back on your feet. There's plenty of jump scares and disturbing segments littered throughout the place, some of which are sure to catch you off guard. Add to that, great use of dark lighting and rainy atmosphere, and it isn't hard to understand why this level stands out from the rest of the game. The Last of Us Part 2, The Rat King.
Thank God they put this on the list. Listen, if any of you pussies are still shitting on The Last of Us 2, I know I used to be a hypocrite, because when it first fucking leaked, I was kind of on that same train, but I've played it since then. And it's one of my favorite games of all time. Listen, if you still on that, if you ain't grown up since then, bro, check yourself. Go play this game. I don't give a fuck what you think about, oh man, the story's bad. No. How about this? How about you keep an open mind? You go into the story. If you still think it's bad afterwards, fine. But you cannot tell me that the shit does not play amazingly. You can't tell me that the parts of the game like this are not insanely amazing. Like, I have not felt like this in a long time playing the game. Like, this shit was terrifying. Like, The Last of Us, they're like, oh, well, it's not really horror, it's thriller, it's drama. No. This shit was scary, bro. All right, my bad. This was insane. Never have I ever, like, had to fight a boss, and I was like, it's like, you know when you can't stop running, and then you don't want to look behind you because it's right behind you, but you know you have to kill it. It's like that feeling the whole time, yo.
Full of emotionally unsettling and disturbing moments. But the Rat King boss fight sequence,
oh my God,
is one of the credits.
My bad, I had to
found in the basement of the Seattle hospital. This zombie is unlike anything you've ever seen.
You better not call this a zombie, bro.
Is best described as a bunch of clickers and blurs glued together, and it looks absolutely horrifying thanks to a bunch of limbs cropping out from its body. It's not just for show either. It puts up a brutal fight that's sure to take up your precious ammo. If it touches you once, you lose your jaw from your head. Apart from being an intensely terrifying boss fight, this sequence is a great showcase for how far Abby is willing to go for those that she loves.
Excellent.
Resident Evil 2 Remake, The Police Station.
Police Station, excellently done, especially when you have to go in for the first time. Great. This right here, oh my God. Again, people are like, oh, Resident Evil ain't really scary. Go play this then. Go play this. All right, go play.
Resident Evil 2 Remake is easily one of the best remakes of recent memory, and a lot of that has to be attributed to how Capcom nailed the vibe of the original, all while making radical changes to the gameplay. And naturally, the police station continues to be the best part of the game that also doubles as a masterclass in horror.
Well, you got like damn 99 grenades, bro.
And looping
I
level
saw
designs
that.
set the perfect stage for the Mr.
So I
X
saw
encounters.
999.
And the constant onslaught of zombies around every corner also doesn't make things any easier, especially when you're just getting to grips
The
with
lickers,
the gameplay.
bro. The lickers are insanely
Resident
terrifying.
Evil 7, The Baker Mansion.
You hitting. Man, GamingBolt don't be missing right now. They don't be missing, dog. They be hit on hit on hit. First time I played this, dog, I was terrified. I wish more that's the thing. I wish more games would, hit like this. Like nowadays, it's hard to find them.
Resident Evil made a big return to form with Resident Evil 7, which ditched the action-heavy gameplay of RE6 in favor of a more grounded survival horror experience. The Baker Mansion serves as the perfect opener for such an experience, and the developers did a wonderful job of showcasing a crumbling house of horrors with the mansion. The ominous atmosphere and the gradual build-up to the infamous dinner table scene is executed perfectly.
Perfectly,
the horrors
indeed.
don't just stop there. Boss fights with the likes of Mr. Baker are some of the most tense sequences of recent memory.
I'm telling you right now, if Resident Evil 7 would have pretty much stayed in the house for the whole game, kind of similar, like if they would have at least stayed in the house longer, like you do in the station in Resident Evil 2, because in my opinion, these games usually do fall off once you leave the main area. And not saying they go bad. It's just saying that the main area, the house or the station, they're big standouts for me in Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 7. Resident Evil 4, the village and the castle are very strong, and the last bit isn't the strongest to me, even though I love it. But for me, it's like there's always areas in those games where it's really strong, and then it's like, okay, that's good, but it kind of down. This game, if it would have stayed in the house for most of the game, and didn't go all too far out, then it might have been my favorite out of all of them. But it's in the top 5 for sure.
Which ultimately makes this level worthy of being in the list. Phasmophobia.
Phasmophobia, holy shit, throwback
While
season.
Phasmophobia is best experienced with a group of friends.
It
there's a
is. I
distinct
miss
fun
playing
to be
this with
had when it
friends,
comes to
dog.
exploring these terrifying maps and just soaking in the atmosphere. Brownstone High School is easily one of the best maps that you should check out. The school is home to long
I remember we did a
walkways,
damn
multiple levels of elevation,
was it a
and
no
cramped
power or no
offices,
flashlight
which can
challenge,
look
bro? I
really
lost my shit.
unsettling thanks to supremely low visibility at nighttime. Dead Space Remake, Medical.
I'm not gonna lie, this game did scare me a bit, but how do I explain it? It scared me a bit and I really enjoyed it, but after a while it got less scary. Like, you was always susceptible to jump scares in this, but
Dead
like
Space Remake is a
there was
wonderful
not many levels that really
reimagination of
got
the
me
original
like to my
survival horror
bones,
classic,
you know?
And the game has no shortage of horrifying moments despite the fact that the environments are mostly identical to the original release. The medical sequence is easily one of the best in the entire game thanks to excellent atmosphere and disturbing imagery that's sure to make you uneasy while exploring these rooms. We get to see horrifying experiments being conducted under the influence of the marker, but there's also plenty of necromorphs that need to be dealt with before you head on to further sections of the game.
I will impale you. I love
The
that.
medium, the Niwa Hotel level.
Never played the medium.
The medium might not have stood on all of its lofty promises, but it was an engaging horror game that's certainly worth a try. Those who do so will be treated with the Niwa Hotel level, which is definitely a standout with its superb
I know these are the same people
atmosphere
doing
and creepy
Resident
setting.
Evil,
The level
Silent Hill
starts
2.
off in an
So
eerily silent forest,
maybe I should check it
where
out.
rustling trees and your footsteps are the only things that are creating a semblance of sound. And this serves as a great preface to the abandoned Niwa Hotel, which is itself brimming with mysteries to solve and horrors to avoid, making for a consistently horrifying experience. Man of Medan.
Oh, I
the
hated
ghost
this
ship
game
level.
so much. I'm not gonna lie,
The Dark
look,
Pictures
maybe y'all liked
anthology
it.
Man of Medan
If you didn't,
starts with a group of
I didn't
friends
either.
taking a holiday together, but that quickly devolves into a fight
Thankfully, it
for
was
survival
gifted
as the
to
group
me by
puts up
somebody
with
I
all
don't like,
sorts of
so
horrors,
I don't
both
have a
supernatural
reason to
and
play it now.
otherwise. It all takes place in a ghost ship, which will immediately get you scared with its jump scares and generally
It
ominous
didn't.
atmosphere. The
It's
fate
the
of each
only miss
character
on this list so
aboard the ship
far.
can change significantly depending on the decisions you make.
Every
but the
game since
general sense
Until
of
Dawn
horror
has
and
not
dread
been the
pervading
same,
every step
honestly.
on this ghost ship remains consistent throughout. Little Nightmares 2, the hospital
I've
level.
been meaning to play Little Nightmares. I
Little
haven't
Nightmares 2 does
played
a
it though.
great job of establishing an unnerving atmosphere that's sure to get under your skin and instill a sense of fear of the unknown. The hospital level features the best of those traits. Set against the backdrop of an isolated hospital, you have to make your way through abandoned corridors, all while eerie mechanical dolls are chasing you from room to room.
Jesus.
And even when the level gives you a breather from this cat and mouse chase, you have to make your way through rooms filled with disturbing imagery and horrifying props littered throughout the level. And to top that all off, it all ends with a deadly encounter with a weirdly deformed baby that's sure to give you nightmares long after beating the game. The
Yeah,
Last of
that
Us
did look
Part
scary.
1, The Sewers.
The sewers, yeah. Last of Us being one of the only games with a sewer level that I enjoyed. Whoa. Bro, how you miss that?
The Last of Us Part 1
How you miss
is a
that?
constantly thrilling ride, and the sewers portion serves as a good breather after an intense chase sequence. However, that relaxation also comes with the added tension of working with two strangers to make your way to the radio station. You make your way through the shore and down to the sewers, which are appropriately dingy and desolate with little to no light present in the area. Just when the encounters
Are
start to
you
ramp up in
missing?
intensity, Joel and Ellie are separated from one another, which makes this sequence all the more horrifying for those heavily invested in the story.
Y'all should have hired me to play the
Dead by
game, bro.
Daylight, the Macmillan Estate.
I thought the Man of Medan, I thought the Man of Medan would have been the worst take. This is by far the worst take out of the entire channel. Anybody finding Dead by Daylight scary? I have a history with this game. If you know, you know. If anything, the killer should be scared.
Much like
Holy
Phasmophobia that
shit.
we discussed before, Dead by Daylight is a game that's at its best when you're playing with friends. It features a buffet of varied
for
realms
the
players,
friends and
but the
you,
Macmillan Estate
not for the
definitely
killer.
stands out as one of the most horrifying ones in the game.
No, it don't.
Set in an industrial theme, there are about 5 maps within this realm, each of which is considerably different than the last. The cramped corridors of the groaning storehouse provide a stark contrast. to
Bro,
the
it's only
relatively
scary when
open
you're playing like a
ironworks of
bot.
misery.
What the?
But each of these maps are cleverly designed with good use of dark colors and fog to set the perfect backdrop for a tense
Bro.
encounter.
Nah, bro. Nah, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it to him today. Cause nah.
Evil Within, Chapter
Let's get us
3.
back to some refreshing shit, please. Cause that was
It's been almost a
painful.
decade since The Evil Within released, and the fact that it still
That was
remains
painful.
one of the best horror experiences on the market speaks volumes about the game's quality. The third chapter in the game is easily one of the highlights of the experience, thanks to well-crafted atmosphere and thoughtful obstacles that force you to proceed with caution. You start out near the river and make your way through dimly lit stone
I never played this
buildings
game, but
over
it's
a
something
village,
about
which
the
has a
animations and
handful of
the
houses that you need to scour
way it
through in
plays
search of
that
key
just
items. Each house is
hasn't
filled with different
called me
kinds of
yet.
horrors, ranging from booby traps to zombie hordes, and
It's not necessarily the way it looks. I think it's just something about it. It's
before
just
getting further in the
something
story.
on my eyes that doesn't agree with it.
PT, the house.
All right, you made
It's
up
a real
for it.
shame that Konami's Silent Hills
You made up
project
for it,
never
GamingBolt.
really panned out. Because
You almost
the
lost
playable
me.
Teaser, or PT, remains one of the best horror experiences of the
This
last
is one of the
generation,
only horror
despite it
games
lasting
to
for
make
less than an
me-
hour. Taking place in a seemingly
Ugh, I just caught
ordinary
a
house,
fly.
PT impresses with its excellent sense of pacing that quickly devolves a harmless house into a horrifying nightmare.
This is one of the only games that to this day, if you ask me what's the scariest game you've played, I'm gonna be like playable teaser. And they're gonna be like, what the fuck is that? And I'm gonna be like, yo. Yeah, you need to know. You know a game's scary even when the remake that somebody made on Unreal Engine is still damn scary. Like, oh my god, man, come on, please bring it back. Why would you let it go down the drain, Konami? What's wrong with you? Come on. This would have been the greatest horror game of all time, man. Damn. You know, a playable teaser, dog. A demo got more attention and is still influencing modern gaming horror games today, from Resident Evil to like every other indie game that comes out now. Like everything wants to be PT. And that's just a testament to how amazing this demo was.
Disturbing messages and eerie atmosphere precedes the grand reveal.
What's the game? Visage? They tried their best. They did it pretty good, but like it wasn't hitting all the way, and PT was hitting all the way.
The house itself is pretty small, but the space is utilized in a meaningful fashion that makes this level a spine-chilling experience.
PTSD hit back.
Fatal Frame 2, Crimson Butterfly.
I need to finish Fatal Frame 1. I have not.
The
I need to finish
game's
Fatal Frame
7th
1.
chapter, named Sei, sees you making your way through the Takibana house, which is an old house that's ripe for ghostly presence and otherworldly apparitions. It's entirely lit by candles, and is full of dark corners and blind spots, which gets you immediately scared of the unknown. The fixed camera angles also frame the action perfectly.
Shit's really fun though. I played it, streamed it for a while.
Like advancing through a carefully directed horror plot, which appropriately unnerves you to the core. And that brings us to the end of the video.
Good job, except for that Dead by Daylight shit. Like the fuck? Don't you ever mention Scary and DBD in the same exact name. I'm a hater. Come at me, dislike the video. I don't care. I will hate that game for the rest of my life. Nothing you can do to change my mind. Regardless, that was a good list.